What's up guys, Belmont here. So, Final Fantasy Cringe Fest, Stranger of Paradise, is just about to drop. So I took it upon myself to take a good look at it to answer the $1 million question. Is it worth it? No, it isn't. No, just kidding. This may be the first comedy Final Fantasy game ever, but there's some good stuff in here. And if you wish to help keep my channel going, then check out my Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee pages after you're done with this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. Stranger to Paradise was developed by Team Ninja, the same people who created Neo 1 and 2. And when I read that this exquisite looking title, and I'm being more than generous here, had been developed by the same people, I got pretty curious about it. And since this is an action game, let's talk about the gameplay first, which is probably this game's only strong suit. If you've played Neo before, then you feel right at home with all the different armor pieces and weapons you'll be finding throughout the game. Just like in Neo, you can mix and match different pieces of armor, and you'll be getting multiple drops of the same pieces of equipment that have different levels, rarities, and even bonus effects. Luckily, there is an option to automatically optimize your whole squad's equipment with a single button press. And since this is kind of a demented reboot of the very first Final Fantasy game, in here you also have a job system. Every classic Final Fantasy job is there, and each type of weapon belongs to a specific class. From Sword Fighter to Black Mage, you have plenty of choices to suit your gameplay style. And you can also switch jobs on the fly too, making for a very dynamic combat experience. Still on the job subject, as you fight, you'll level them up, granting you points to unlock different abilities, buffs, and even advanced jobs. A wizard, for example, can evolve to white, red, or black mage. And Team Ninja sure put in the work to make the customization aspect of skills and weaponry very entertaining and functional. It all reflects very well in the combat department. Since this game draws heavily from Neo, its combat is very fast-paced. Using different skills and spells effortlessly and on the fly is almost a no-brainer. It comes like a second nature. It's really fun to come up with a unique personal setup to give enemies a good high-speed thrashing. And just like in Soulsborne fashion, using a mage breaks the game from the outset. It's kind of broken. But hey, I'm not saying it's not fun. It is. Besides having a standard and a heavy attack, which will function as a special class ability of sorts and can be comboed into different chains to generate special finishers, you also have a guard, dodge, and barrier functions to spice up your gameplay. What's really interesting about the barrier, which spends your stamina when used, is that it can absorb unique abilities from enemies, and those can be used by any class at any given time. But there's a catch. They have very few uses, so make sure not to waste a good skill on a minor enemy. And speaking of enemies, there is a decent variety of foes for you to defeat. From bombs to goblins, all the classic creatures are there. And seeing Final Fantasy enemies transition from a turn-based game to a high-speed combat was interesting, I'll admit it. Now let's talk bosses. After all, what's an action game without them? For the most part, most bosses will put up a very good fight and require you to do many fights more than once. And hey, there's another very good aspect that Stranger of Edgelord brings us: your allies. You know, I usually hate games that have AI-controlled teammates. 99% of the time, their AI is absolutely idiotic. And when paired up with a finite health bar, that's a perfect recipe for babysitting dumb people. In this game, however, I actually felt I could trust my AI partners. Not only they did a decent job at defending themselves, but also their level of aggression was really good. Hell, they'll even beat certain bosses on their own if you let them. Add that to the fact that you can command them to perform a very aggressive flurry of attacks against any enemy you target, and the number of combat tactics available to you gets even bigger. And oh yeah, your allies will eventually be able to switch jobs too. It won't take long to be able to do this. Now, you may be thinking, "Whoa, Belmont, from what I gather so far, you're actually saying this game is good." Well, you see, we need to talk. Have a seat. You see, this is where everything starts going downhill. First and foremost, if you're not playing on the PlayStation 5, then this game will look like a PlayStation 3 game. Hell, it still does sometimes on Sony's latest console, especially when you're walking through cities and engaging conversations with NPCs. Now, by no means I say that this is the defining aspect of a good or a bad game, but the problem is that this issue stacks with other glaring ones, which brings me to my next topic. The script and the voice acting. Come on, admit it. This is what most of you are here for. Kill chaos. I'm glad Jack's back. Only him can fight like that. Listen, I'm not kidding, brother. Those last two sentences actually came from the game. I didn't make any of this up. You know, not even a die-hard 13-year-old edgelord wannabe would actually find any of this crap cool. No, which actually makes it all even funnier. Seriously, I played this game a lot, and there wasn't a single cutscene where I didn't at least let out a giggle because of its try-hard writing. But you know, let's say you're caught off guard. So at first glance, you know, this is so cringe-worthy that it almost seems like it was made on purpose. Just like Metal Gear Solid 3's Subsistence joke videos. However, with Stranger of Paradise, this isn't the case, okay? Team Ninja really wanted to give it a stronger and more impactful tone. And man, I gotta say, it's been a long time since I last saw someone fail this hard with the script. Every single character feels like they have a huge laughing stuff sign above their heads. Even Garland, a very emblematic figure in the franchise. And the voice acting doesn't help either. They managed to make every single line even more cliche than when simply on paper. But you know, seriously, if you're able to shut off your brain, you're gonna be laughing more than you'd expect. But this comes at a cost. You see, with pathetic screenwriting, connecting with the game's characters, universe, or lore becomes a solid no-go, especially for a game that carries the Final Fantasy name. Jesus, man, not a single character in this game is relatable or even memorable. So much that, you know, I swear to God, there were times I forgot I was playing the damn thing while I was playing it. You know, you simply begin zoning off. Oh, okay, I killed this boss. Huh. Oh, cool, piece of gear. And that's it. All in all, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins is a game that, while, you know, it offers a very fun combat and interesting character customization system, falls flat on its face and comes up as an absolutely forgettable experience. The only reason this was picked up by so many of us on the radar is its title. If Stranger of Paradise was named anything else, I sincerely doubt many people would even bother loading a video about it. However, am I saying this game is bad? Well, it depends on what you're after, really. You see, if you're able to overlook all of its glaring faults and go in fully aware that the unintended humor won't be a driving force for long, you know, it won't sustain you for long, and are just looking for something fun to play when you're, you know, in one of those days where you don't want to think much, then yeah, this could definitely be very fun. But a word of advice though, I have a good feeling that this game's gonna tank real hard and real fast. While it does have many good features, it misses the most important marks that come with the name it carries. Wait for a few weeks or months until it gets a good price drop. You're not missing out on anything remarkable, and if you're just looking for good laughs, you know, you can always head to some idiot's page and watch some videos, subscribe to his channel, maybe help him out on the Patreon. So, bottom line is, forgettable setting, forgettable story, unintended funny scripts and voice acting, very satisfying gameplay, the job system and the customization it brings with it, it's also very entertaining. So my final score for this game is a 6 out of 10. By no means it's remarkable, but it could serve you as, you know, temporary fun, especially at a good discount. So this was Balmont to you, thank you for watching, leave a comment about your impressions about this game, make sure to share this video with your friends, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.